You're watching Study with Sudhir. My name is Sudhir. I must confess that I'm a bit late in bringing this video information to you, but as is my want and as is the practice here on Study with Sudhir, we do not put out anything unless we have documentary evidence to back it. In this case, the letter written by the CISCE, the Council for ICSE and ISC, to the different schools in the country. Now, this letter was written on the 26th of August and it frankly concerns the students directly of classes 9, 10, 11 and 12, and I do not quite understand why doesn't the council put out such information directly on its website so that the students, the different stakeholders, their parents, teachers can see it directly and understand the information. Now, let's talk about classes 9 and 11 first. Now, you would recall that earlier this year in 2020 was the first time that the council set the annual examination question papers. That was the first time that this was introduced. Now, the answer scripts of course were evaluated by the school teachers, but I was told that a few sample answer scripts had to be sent, random answer scripts had to be sent to the council so that the council could ascertain that the evaluation process was done in a fair and proper manner. Now, the idea behind the council setting the question paper for the final examination was to prepare these class 9 and class 11 students to face a board examination of sorts, and of course it would also help them when they graduate to class 10 and class 12 the following year. Now, this academic year, due to the peculiar and difficult circumstances that we are in, the council has decided and has told the schools that it will not be setting the annual examination question papers for 2020-21 only, which means that this exemption of sorts is being done only for this academic year. From the next academic year, that is 2021-22, it will be back to the council setting the question papers even for class 9 and class 11 students. Now, this will of course help the schools with some flexibility, given the fact that many of the schools and the teachers are struggling with the online classes, finishing the syllabus, finishing the portion on time. So, in case some school is not able to finish say one chapter or a concept on time, in time for the annual examination, it could always set the question paper in such a way that that particular concept, no questions are asked from that particular chapter or concept. So, that kind of flexibility the schools will be able to gain as a result of this new decision by the ICSE council, right? Now, also when students are struggling with online classes, this will reduce some bit of the pressure on them, that at least they don't have that mental pressure that it will be a board set, a council set annual question paper, right? But even though that is the case, my advice to all class 9 and class 11 students would be to put your best foot forward, because what you study in class 9 and 11 is essentially the base for class 10 and 12, especially for science students who are now in class 11 and will go to class 12 next year. So, let this decision of the council not make you relax, because at the end of the day, question paper is a question paper. Who has set the question paper should ideally not make much of a difference. The second information concerns the project reports that all students of these 4 classes will also have to submit. Now, in this letter sent to the principals, the council has acknowledged that the submission of project works has become difficult and a challenge because of the lockdown position in many states and cities. So, what it has done is that it has permitted the following flexible measures. 1. The project report can be submitted in a handwritten form or PDF form or even in PowerPoint mode, and it's entirely up to the student what he or she wishes to do. Point number 2, even though some chapters have been deleted from the 2020-21 syllabus, if any student chooses to attempt a project in these deleted chapters, they will have to be accepted and marked accordingly by the school. So, that is another decision, student friendly decision that the council has taken, but at the same time it has also issued a warning to some of the students, basically to say that they should not indulge in plagiarism of any kind, plagiarism of any sort of information, which essentially means do not indulge in Control-C, Control-V from any other place or from any other site on the internet, because teachers have been asked specifically to use anti-plagiarism apps to detect such malpractice. This is done routinely in universities. I know it for a fact, especially where students have to submit thesis when they are doing their MA, MPhil or even PhD. These kind of anti-plagiarism apps are put in place to detect any kind of copying. It can immediately detect that this particular part of the thesis or project has been copied from some other place on the internet. And I think this is very important, because generally the belief is that anything on the net is essentially free for anyone to copy. People often interpret the word copyright as the right to copy, which is absolutely erroneous and wrong. In fact, there are even YouTubers out here who do it quite openly and rather shamelessly. So refrain from doing that. Produce an original work, and original work will always have much more value than a work which is copied from some other source on the internet. So that's the update for classes 9, 10, 11, 12 students of ICSE and ISC. Thank you very much for watching.